Hello again, folks. So, you have about as much chance getting rich collecting stamps as you do winning the Powerball or finding Montezuma's gold in a cavern in Utah. So I'm saying there's a chance, and today I'm going to show you how. To be clear, I am a stamp collector. I am not a treasure hunter. Though if I found a $175,000 stamp, I would be quite pleased. The reason I'm doing this video is the other day I was on eBay looking for stamps, and I came across this. Take a look at what I just found. This absolutely beautiful Benjamin Franklin 1-cent stamp in very fine condition can be yours for the steal of $33,165. Wow, what a deal. But if you don't want to spend that much money, take a look at this. There's more. There's one with a George Washington, but I don't want George Washington. I want Ben Franklin. There he is, $8,000. There's a double one for $1,300. And there's another for $15,000. Ugh. And I say, because by that measure, I must be rich. I mean, just look at this book. Oh, there's one. Oh, look at that page. And on and on and on. The reason for all the hype is there is a very, very valuable variation of the 1-cent green Benjamin Franklin stamp from 1923. And here's how you tell if your stamp is worth a whole lot of money. First, grab yourself a perf gauge like this one. Is your stamp a perf 10 or a perf 11? And don't worry, I'll tell you what that means in a minute. Second, measure your stamp. Does your stamp measure 19¼ millimeters by 22¼ millimeters? Or is it 19¾ millimeter by 22¼ millimeter? If it's 19¼ millimeters, congratulations, you're one step closer. Third, send your stamp into an authenticating service, a reputable one. I recommend the American Philatelic Society. There's a link in the description below. Back to that eBay listing. If you see a stamp that does not have a certificate of authenticity from a reputable service, you can assume that 1-cent Benjamin Franklin green stamp is worth pennies. But maybe, just maybe there is a very rare variation. And the variation you're after is most oftentimes found with a Kansas City pre-cancel. And in this video, I'm not going to explain why, because I'm putting a link in the description of this video to a great explanation of how this variation, how this rarity came into being. And for all you collectors out there who have searched for it over the years, I get it. I really do. The process is fascinating. How it came into being is fascinating. And I mean, who doesn't like the chance at getting rich? But anyways, most oftentimes they are Kansas City, Missouri pre-cancels like that one. And that one is kind of interesting to me because it's off kilter. It's a little smudged. So right off the bat, you can see that it's not your typical pre-cancel, which typically looks like that one. So let's determine if this one is worth $175,000. First, I'm going to get my perf gauge, like this. Second, I'm actually going to take the stamp out of the book. Oh, so carefully. Because, could be worth a lot of money. So this is a perforation gauge. Perforations are the edges of a stamp. To determine which perforation it is, you take your stamp and you line it up with the marks on your perforation gauge. The holes should fill the gaps in the perforation. I'm going to start by checking 10. What I'm after, if it is a very rare, expensive stamp, is perfs of 11. And you very carefully line it up. And as I can see, it is not a perf 10 because the holes in 10 do not line up with the holes in the perforation. So now I'm going to check perf 11. And there you go. The holes in the perforation line up with the holes in the perforation gauge, and so I can tell that this is a perf 11 stamp. Huzzah! I'm one step closer to being rich! Alright, so I have a perf 11 green 1-cent Ben Franklin stamp from 1923 with the Kansas City, Missouri overprint. The next step is to measure it. And this is the most important piece. What you do is you line up your stamp. You're measuring from the right green edge to the left green edge. You line it up on your millimeter measurement. And to the best that you can, you determine if it is 19¼ millimeters or 19¾ millimeters. So I'm lining it up. And boy, it sure does look like it's 19¼ Look at that. I'll zoom you in. That seems pretty close to 19¼ millimeters. So, you now have a perf 11 that looks to be the right size. Doesn't that look right? Well, there's an easy way to check. Find yourself one of the more common stamps that has perf 11. It is going to be 19¾ millimeters wide. And the one you're after is going to be noticeably different in the width of it. So let's see. And there you go. You can look at this under a magnifying glass to be sure, but what I can tell on sight is that these two are exactly the same. And so therefore, I know that this stamp is not the variation I'm after. Well, I didn't strike it rich today, and that's okay, because I am not in this hobby for financial reasons. I love art, and I love history, and stamps are a wonderful mix of the two. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please do like the video and subscribe to the channel. It means a great deal to me. Until next time, take care.